Okay, folks, we are about to call into Claudia. Gonna give her a ring here. And just bear with me in just 1 minute here. We're gonna see if Claudia's around, running around that crazy California state. You know what's going on out there, it's crazy. Alright, let's give her a ring.
Hello, Martha.
Well, there she is. It's Claudia from California. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I just want to introduce all my listeners out there that this is Claudia, and I wanted to tell everybody that we've been friends for quite a while, and I wanted to do this interview with you for Bucksy County Bytes. I feel privileged that I have even 10 minutes with you because I know you have such a crazy schedule out there.
I'm a little crazy, but aren't we all, right?
Well, with everything going on in this world, yeah. And actually, I think you have it even worse in California right now, don't you? You have
Actually, yeah. Actually, we moved to Oregon, so I've been in the California world until just about a year or so ago,
Okay.
and we're up in Eugene now in Oregon, so which is a little bit south of Portland.
Yeah,
About
I know where it's at. So that's a nice area. That's great. I wish I would have known that. I was just out there in Oregon not too long ago, last year. I could have stopped in. Didn't realize
we would have
it.
had fun
I know,
too.
I know. With all the travel I was doing, and now it's just like done. It's just gone. And that's what brings me into having you on the show. One of the things I was introducing people to is I met you years ago, and I met you because of my dog, Sam.
Yep.
And we all remember he couldn't walk. And that's
I
was
know.
crazy. It was so sad. I was getting ready to make a decision. Like, I can't do this. We can't do this all the time. How are we going to carry him around and then feed him? Like, where he would lay, he wouldn't get up, and he would just eat there.
And he's a big dog
Oh,
too, right?
he's 100 pounds, and he's still really heavy. But
Oh.
if I hadn't met you all those years ago in, I forget what group it was. I think it was a dog group. I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was. I'm in a lot of groups, but I
Yeah.
do remember your story and it just broke my
And
heart.
you got a hold of me that day. You're like, you have to try this. Just try it. And there was this, I'm like, and I was really open to anything because they wanted to do surgery on him. They wanted to do neck surgery for $14,000. I'm like, no, no, that's not happening. I can't
I
afford it.
know, I know. It's been a long time since I've had a dog, but I know we do everything for our little fur babies.
Yeah, we
And
do.
yeah, so when I saw your story, I have something and I thought maybe this will help. And I hate to give too much hope when
I
it's
know.
such a heartbreaking situation, but
And you sent
to
me
me it was worth a
videos.
try.
Remember, you
I
you
did.
sent me things like watch these dogs and horses, and I was watching. I'm like, is that possible that these animals are turning around with this product? But you know
Yeah.
what? I decided, everybody out there listening, people are sometimes disbelievers, but this made me a believer. When I started, and I think I gave them both, Hercules and Sam got the product for about a week to 2 weeks. And I all of a sudden they went from like not moving to
To
moving.
moving,
And it
right?
took Sam a little longer because of all the problems, but I think it was about a month and a half. He started walking and he
Right.
started acting like a normal dog within 2 to 3 months. And
Isn't that
Hercules
amazing?
just turned around and he was jumping all over the place. So I was like,
Yeah, it's
what is this? And
right.
and I haven't ever really looked back. I mean, I've kind of took a break from it because I couldn't afford it because of my work, and now
Right.
it's like turn around like, oh my gosh, now do I get involved with this business? How do I do this? And that's what I'm like. I'm home. I'm at home for 5 6 months now and trying to figure out how I'm helping other businesses, how I can help myself. And I thought, you know what, Claudia would be a great person to have because she's been involved with this business for like a long time, many
Yeah, nine
years,
years.
9 years. So I want you to go ahead and talk to our listening audience and tell them more about your business and exactly, kind of how it works.
Okay.
That they give them that information because they'll have that information in the podcast too. They'll be able to, because this goes to a YouTube. So all that information is in the YouTube. And it's also in the podcast.
Excellent.
So people can check this out.
Excellent. Well, let me tell you, my background, I went to college. I have a degree in business and finance. And I did a little bit of the corporate route when I got out of college, go to work for others. I happened to be raised by people who were always self-employed. And I thought, that's a tough life. It can be very difficult.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was enticed with full benefits. When I got out of school, you could pay a small amount and you would get the full medical ride and all that sort of stuff. So it enticed me just to not have to be in charge of everything. But I think, you're always on someone's time. You have to ask for the raise and that sort of thing. And I was not working in a pandemic, so it was a pretty easy ride. But as time went on, I got married. Husband has a very crazy schedule himself, and we wanted to have kids, and it just turned into we can go to work and pay other people to raise our children, or I can stay home. So I chose to stay home with our boys, and they're in high school now. But we get to those places where, I'm an educated person and I'd like to make money, and it would be nice if I had my own business, but I have twins.
Yeah. How do you, you're thinking at the time, how am I going to do this? I've got these kids. How am I going to have a business and take care of them, be home, take care of the house, take care of her? It's crazy.
Yeah. And any business needs attention. So, I had been introduced, and I'm sure almost all of your listeners have been introduced at least once to a network marketing company.
And that's been around a long time, going back many years.
Many years. Yeah. Network marketing. Gosh, I don't even know who the original company was. I remember in college, my marketing class, they actually did a unit study on Mary Kay. And I was fascinated by her desire.
One of the first ones, yeah.
One of the first ones, absolutely. And I was fascinated by her drive to help women become, earners in their family, but on their own schedule. And that's always been something where I could do that. Yeah. I could ignore it when I need to, and I can work it when I can. And, that just is for, anyone can do that.
Going back before all the social media and everything that we have right now.
That was...
What year was that?
I don't even know. That was, door to door.
Oh, yes, that's right. We used to go door to door doing these things.
Right. Remember Avon? Avon calling, right? I remember going through little lipstick samples with my grandma and her Avon lady all the time. Oh, my gosh.
And this is, this has been around a long time, only it's done differently today than it was 30, 40 years ago, 50.
It's different. It's very professional. And I know that there are people that have not been professional in the past, and they tend to give bad names to things. But, it's a legitimate business opportunity. It's, we always say it's a business in a box. Everything's done for you. Mm-hmm. And with today's social media, I bet most people, when they're on their Facebook, they have at least one friend that is talking about a product that they like. Sure. And that, and that they're working with. And what I love about it is this is a industry that anyone can join. You don't have to ask permission. You want to do it, do it. You want to make a lot of money, do the work that's required to make a lot of money. You want enough to put gas in your tank, do a little bit of work, and you're going to have enough money to put gas in your tank. So it really depends on you and what your goals are and what you want to do and how much time you give it. So this is something that I've always known about since I was a kid. I nobody had to convince me it was a legitimate industry. I already knew that.
Right. We all knew that it existed. It was just done differently. In fact, I met some people that did it way back. What is that? Amway, I guess.
Amway.
Yeah, that's still going back a long time, and they're still around.
They're still around. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So, it had happened. I had gotten in touch with an old elementary school friend. I'd literally seen her since 8th grade, and we got to chatting, and it turned out we lived about an hour away from each other. And she was already invited, already in the company that I now work with. And she says, you should come check this out. And I immediately said, oh, I will totally come check this out, but I'm not signing up. Just so you know, don't get excited, but I want to come see you. I want to meet your children. Let's do this. So we finally met up at, one of the events, and now you don't even need to go to an event. You and I haven't even met in person. We've just done lots of talking, right?
Talking. That's what I love about this podcasting is I can just call people up, talk to people. I'm just networking constantly now with this. I'm always picking people's brains.
I love it. I just love the way everything works now. It's my style. It's so my style now.
Yeah.
But, so I went to this meeting, and like I said, I'm a number cruncher, and they were explaining how everything works. And I've seen a lot of plans before that have to do with network marketing. And some of them I just sit there and scrutinize, thinking, I like this, I don't like that, that sort of thing. But as I was sitting through our presentation, I ended up kind of bruising my girlfriend with my elbow because I kept elbowing her and saying, so the product that goes with this, you're going to have to tell me about it, because, the last thing I want to do is be involved in something that I can't back up, right? And so she's like, oh, yeah, you got to look at it. So, and it turned out to be the product that I had brought to you for your dogs, but it was the human version.
And that's what we use for the dogs it worked that well.
It works. It's what had happened is this particular product, it's proven to reduce the oxidative stress in your body. And the easiest way to explain that, and you'll really get it as the car aficionado that I know that you are, is when your paint job starts oxidizing and it starts looking dull and icky. Well, that happens in our bodies. And it's a natural process. It happens because you're alive, but it happens even more so if you have an illness, and then it becomes this cyclical thing that you don't even know what's first anymore. Is your oxidative stress elevated? It's causing more illness, which is causing more oxidative stress. It just cycles and cycles.
It does. It keeps cycling and cycling. It's like downward spiral is what happens.
Yeah,
it just keeps going down.
It just keeps going down, and part of that is natural. That's the aging process as well. So you look at a person. You look at a person maybe who's young and very ill, and what's the first thing you notice? Wow, they've really aged.
Yeah.
And so
in people that are very ill and they're young.
Exactly. So this is proven to reduce oxidative stress. We don't talk about it curing anything. It's your whole goal with this is to reduce oxidative stress.
And
if that would
exactly cure an illness
like your dog, your dog still has what he has.
Right, they're both sick. They're both just aged. And and usually English labs go to about 12 or 13. And they've made it to 13, and Hercules is at the end stage, but we're trying to keep him comfortable. I don't think I could give it to him now because it's not really, at this stage, it's not going to do much of anything. But they were on it for a while, and they did really well with it. And Hercules had that stem cell done when he was a puppy.
Right.
And, Herc just, he's a trooper, and he kept going. I gave him all the pills, everything I had from the company, and it's like, he's still going strong. I'm just going to keep using it. Until at one point he just started to really go downwards, just because his body is just, it's an old, for a 13, he's really considered almost 15 or 16 because of the problems. He has OCD lesions on his elbows, on his shoulders. Oh. His hips were only about 6% coverage of the ball and socket. And that's why he used to do the bunny hop. We've had, everything done for him as much as possible, and the last game was giving him these extraordinary, wonderful pills that really did help him. You know,
Right,
I was a
right.
believer when I saw the horses come back because I had the horses. I had the horse farm, and that's when
Yes.
I met you right when I left the horse farm, and
Oh, okay.
I knew I knew what stem cell did, and I was like, this is exactly what I'm seeing. This looks like stem cell to me. Exactly what it's doing. It's reversing and changing things quickly. And that's what
Right.
stem cell did, and that's what, you know, the oxidative stress, which is in the mitochondria, that's the brains of our cells. That's the
Right.
powerhouse.
Right.
And if it
So
changes
it
it,
just, yeah, and it gives you a boost. So, and again, so it becomes that situation. Your dog has a certain problem. Would he
mm-hmm.
benefit from reducing his oxidative stress? And in theory, for most situations, yeah, I mean, you're going to benefit. Whether or not it's going to make a profound impact,
Mm-hmm.
we've definitely seen people have profound results. Um, with it. And for me, I have like I have twins, and when I was introduced to this product, my boys, I think, were 5 years old, little balls of energy, and
Hmm.
I had none.
Oh no.
I have a thyroid autoimmune disease, so I'm constantly attacking my own thyroid. And I also have really profound, very bad, as it turns out, sleep apnea that was going
Oh.
undiagnosed for a really long time. So I was not sleeping, and I'm
Oh
attacking
my
my own body.
gosh.
I was exhausted all the time. So I was excited myself to try this. I wasn't, it's not going to turn around my thyroid, and it's not going to cure my apnea, but if it could just give me a little umph.
Yeah.
And
And
so
and that's what it
I,
did.
and that's what it did. I started taking it. And what was interesting for me was, you know, I just felt a little bit better. I just felt like I could cope with life a little easier. But the thing that really sold me on it, because, sometimes you just feel like, is this a placebo effect? Like, I really want it to be
Right.
working, that so it's working, that sort of thing. But it was the people around me. So the first person to mention anything after I had kind of self-noticed was my husband. And he is a professional chef, and it happened to be wedding season, which means he can go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning and not come home until 11 o'clock
I
at
was gonna
night.
say he won't come home till midnight.
Right? And his days are psycho long.
Mm-hmm.
And he came home, and one day he just looks at me. He goes, "Whatever it is that you're taking, I need some of
Oh
that."
my gosh! So your husband did ask for it.
Yeah, so he asked for it, and I thought that was really funny. I was like, "Oh," I go, "Why do you say that?" He goes, "You're different. I can tell you're tired, but you're not like crawling on the floor, exhausted, tired."
Yeah.
So now he has no illness that he's battling with. He has a career with insane hours.
Oh yeah. With any
And
chef,
so,
I've known so many. They're all insanely mad in their work hours. They never stop.
it's
They
it's
go in the
crazy.
morning and they don't come home until like 12 or
Exactly. I'm
later.
like,
It
what have
depends.
you been doing all day? Who
My
chops carrots
gosh.
that long? So he was working at this really high end property, and he's the chef, and he has a really strong work ethic, and he delivers. He's tired. It's wedding
Oh
season. It's
yeah,
one
he's
huge,
exhausted.
yeah. And so I got him on it. And so my first, I didn't look at him and go, "Oh, he looks so much better." I was constantly like, "How are you
Mm.
feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling?" And he says, "You know what it is?" He goes, "I feel like it's wedding season. I feel like I should be exhausted. Like, historically speaking, he should just be going to work, coming home, going to bed, going to work, coming home." That's kind
That's
of,
all it
the
is.
cycle.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I just feel like it's off season." Like, he felt okay. He wasn't feeling beat to death with his own job.
Wow. So he
So,
really
so
did make it. So he started taking it. And he felt much better.
he feels bad, and
Yeah.
he won't not take it. I mean, it cracks me up. I've had time, we went through these moves and he's like, hello, where's our product? Did you forget to change the address? What's going on here? Do you have it packed? I need it now, So, and they're plant foods, which is really surprising, with a patent on them. And the patent is the formula. It's on the recipe. Oh, that's
interesting. So it's a plant-based food. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people that are, they're vegan, vegetarians, and my good friends are, and they absolutely feel so much better just eating that kind of diet.
Yes.
And, knowing that product is also a plant-based product, that makes a huge difference in everybody.
Yes.
Just everybody's eating differently.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why, even if it's just a person that I'm showing this product to and not for their pet, I like to show them the pet videos, because the dogs have a consistent diet and the horses have a consistent diet, and they have fairly consistent exercise habits, and they're not going out Friday night and getting crazy and not sleeping. So you can really see what is happening. Like, if you could see what was happening on a cellular level, you can see it more in the horse and the dog than you will in the human per se.
Right.
So and it's patented, and it's patented for its recipe and its results. A lot of people think, oh, you can't patent natural ingredients. Well, it's the recipe. And I tease about that, and I have to admit, when I very first learned about this, before I agreed to go to the meeting and everything, because my girlfriend was telling me about it, I looked up all the ingredients. I was like, I can buy that stuff, So I bought, you can buy each of them, and I did that. And it's funny to me in hindsight, because I am married to a chef, and even he looks at me and he goes, why would you think you could replicate that recipe? He's like, there's no way, and I'm, and it's funny to me because, like, my friends call me and they ask, can Kevin make his cookies? Because I'd like them for, a party or this or that. And they're these crazy cookie, and they're just chocolate chip cookies. But I say that when he turns around and he literally sells a dozen chocolate chip cookies at the property he's at, for $60. For $60.
Oh my gosh! The cookies.
Exactly. And in my friend, can he make me cookies? And I'm thinking, well, it just depends on his schedule. And the reason is because it's still flour and egg and milk and a really high quality chocolate chip. But
he uses.
It's a whole everything, and this product's the same way.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the same way. It's like, you can totally go to Whole Foods or any of the, health food stores, and you can buy every single one of these ingredients. You're not going to get the recipe right.
No, you're not going to get the recipe right. You can go out and buy all the product, but you're not going to get it right.
Exactly.
It's a combination, the amount, everything that goes into it.
So, it cracks me up, because I'm like, I tried it. I did that. And I think a lot of people do, where they see it and they're like, oh, I can do that. I can replicate that,
right.
So
they can't.
So the first person that noticed anything was my husband. The second person was my mom.
Oh, your mom noticed?
My mom, yeah. And so she was always helping me with the kids. Super helpful grandma. Lives 5 hours away and would be at my house probably every anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks to stay as long as I needed her to function. Okay. And my mom has her own business that's kind of in the beauty arena. So we are a little particular when we're looking at each other's faces, for example.
Oh my gosh.
And like, we would never do this out in public, but if you have a little wrinkle starting to emerge, there might be a discussion. And it's not mean, and no one's,
it's just where she comes from in that beauty, and she sees that, and she's going
exactly. Yeah. She's like, oh, my daughter, you can't look, like you're aging yet, because that would age her somehow. And I love my mom. She's awesome. And so she says to me, I'm sitting on the computer doing whatever I'm doing, and she literally walks up to me, and she's kind of in my face. I'm like, what are you doing, Mom? And she goes, what makeup are you wearing?
Ah.
And I look at her and I said, what? And I literally kind of had to hop up and go look in the mirror because I was so tired. I didn't really remember doing makeup that morning.
Yeah.
And I look in the
You
mirror and
didn't put it on.
I go, I'm not wearing makeup. And she goes, yes, you are. And I said, no, Mom, I'm not wearing any makeup. Like, we had to debate about it. And she goes, no, your skin looks amazing. She goes, you have to have on at least foundation. And I said, Mom, I literally had to get up, hold her hand, walk into the bathroom, get cleanser, wash my face,
you didn't have it on,
and prove that I did not have a lick of foundation on my skin.
That's amazing. So this really, I mean, it helps you from the inside out. So it's helping your skin. It's helping everything.
It's everything. We have
skin's showing.
Yes.
It.
Yeah, we have a fantastic skincare line. But if you were going to ask me of all of my products, which first, like I really want my skin to look good. Yeah, you can use our skincare line. It's amazing. But get on this product first, because your skin and what's going on with its appearance is truly from the inside out. Your skin is it's reflecting your diet, it's reflecting your health, it's reflecting the quality of sleep that you have, all of that. Everything. And it is reflecting the amount of oxidative stress. If your skin's not looking fantastic, it's like the paint job on the car that's been left out in the weather. You're showing signs of oxidative stress.
Oh, I know it makes a difference. I mean, I really got in the, because when I was driving, oh my God, 20,000, I still think, like, how did I do that? 20,000 miles a month. And my skin, it was getting exposure to all these elements out there. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't so faithful about taking all this because I was gone all the time.
Right.
But now, I've been home for, now it's 5.5 months. I've not been anywhere.
Oh my gosh.
So yes. I've been taking it since, and I'm really getting back into it. Like, I'm trying to help other people along this line. It's like trying to get healthy. And so many millions of people are out of work too. And it's like, this is a way to make, an extra income. And it's a way to get your health back.
It is.
Keep you from getting, a lot of people have depression and they're suicidal because of all this pandemic.
It is. And
it's helping their mental state. It's helping their bodies, their health, everything.
It does. And I have to tell you, I am a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool. And there has been patches in my time with this company where, whoa, I'm too busy to do anything right now, mm-hmm. So I've let my business just sit where it's at and still collect a little paycheck from it. And then there are times where it's like, oh, I can do this. Let's go. And I can ramp things up. Yeah. Absolutely. When this pandemic hit, again, my brain starts number crunching. I understand economics. I understand what's happening when the stock market's crashing. Yeah. And it scares me, not just for myself. My husband's a chef. What do you all know is happening with restaurants
look at the restaurant business. I mean, we've seen here in Bucksy County how many places have closed, and that's, all over the country. I get to go see this. On Monday, I leave for Vegas. So it's going to be interesting. I'm doing a podcast on the road out to the west to see what I see, like, for restaurants, traffic, hotels, everything that's going, that's changed. People in the restaurant business are hurting.
It's a huge impact. And
your husband, I'm sure, has felt the impact.
Oh, absolutely. Now he happens to work in the hotel arena, which has kept us relatively safe.
Yeah.
But he's reading the trades. They're not it's expected. What's written in the trade magazines is a loss of about 40% of the businesses.
The travel industry is what's killing everything. Well, that, my other half that he's losing his job in 30 days. United is laying off we're not laying off, they're furloughing 40,000. They don't know when they're going to go back. It could be a year to 2 years. Are you going to sit around for 2 years before they pull you back? No.
Exactly. What are you going to do? So you need to eat.
You need to figure something out. And, and I know so many pilots. I've been in the travel industry for so long. They're all hurting. Exactly. Just so many people out of each airline. they can't be saved right now, and travel is just not coming back, so we need to do something else. So trying to help, this is why I'm doing this. So I'm helping other businesses. I'm trying to help myself at the same time.
Sure.
Trying to pull out of this, figure a way out to make an additional income. And your product, which I will put in, I put the links in. I don't know if you wanted to mention that on here or not.
We'll go ahead and let people, if people are interested, let them come to you.
We're talking about this, or I'm not mentioning the name. I'm like, people are probably thinking, what? They're not talking about it.
It's like an infomercial. No, it's just really awesome. But really, this is, like you and I have been talking, you are also, when you say you thought about me, but you were someone I thought about as well, because I know your industry and I see how the lack of travel is impacting my own family, because my husband's in a hotel environment. And so, and you and I have talked so much in the past. What I love about you, Martha, is just, it's so obvious how innovative you are. And when we got to talking, I was like, whoa, she's really already on it, just doing all these really cool things.
I have to reinvent myself, and that's what
right.
I've done it before, I'm doing it again.
Exactly. And as much as I love being friends with you, I'm like, I want to work with her too, because that is the beauty of this industry. Everybody out there, go ahead and raise your hand. How many times have you gone to work for someone else and you don't like your coworkers?
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that say exactly the same thing. They just don't like their coworkers.
I know, right? And I get to pick my coworkers.
That's true.
When I mean, when I'm calling you about this, it's not just like, hey, help me get rich. No. Let's play.
Yeah, let's
play. Let's get together with this sort of thing. And you know what I love with this industry? Exactly. With this industry, it would have been so easy at the beginning of this pandemic, to just chill. I mean, I can do that. My husband is still working. I could just sit here and do nothing. But one, it's boring, We
found out how boring it is when you're sitting at home for like how many months.
Right. And I thought, oh my gosh, as I'm seeing my friends report the loss of their jobs, or they happen to be the manager and they just had to let go 20 people. I mean, that makes them sick. My husband had to slice his crew down hugely. He would come home. I mean, he was devastated. Here we are getting to stay employed, and he's having to send his employees home, and hopefully they get, something out of this. Yeah. And in Oregon, I don't know if people follow much what's going on here.
Oh, I know what's going on there. It's bad.
We've definitely got some issues, but you want to know what? A lot of people still haven't received even their first since March.
Oh no.
Unemployment check.
They still haven't even received their first check from unemployment.
There are people.
This is
now
horrible.
I have some friends that zero problems. They started getting their checks immediately. We have other friends who have not received. They're already back to work, and they're still waiting for a chunk of money that is owed to them for their unemployment.
Oh, so I mean, I know Pennsylvania's the same way too, but I mean, I know other states are in worse situations. You have not even gotten first checks. That's so bad.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to live? How are you supposed to eat?
Well, and that's where, I always kind of come at people and say, look, there's a way. I can't promise that you're going to start earning rent next month, but if you're interested, there's an inexpensive way to get in. You don't have to buy the most expensive package. There's an inexpensive way to get into these businesses. With someone like yourself, I'm a great trainer. I mean, I'll toot my own horn on that. I can get you trained.
You are a great trainer.
And if you're really busy and you want to bring someone in, I'm going to help you train your person. That's what I just love about the way that this works. Like in a good company, which I truly believe I'm in a very good company, there's an environment created. Even with the way their commission structures, the commission structure should help create an environment that really creates people working together. It's not about a matter of, hey, you come make me rich. Let me help you let me do what I can do for you, help you get trained, help you train your people. Let me make a difference. I used to work in, like I said, in the corporate world. I wiggled my way into recruiting and kind of the HR side of things because I didn't actually want to sit and crunch numbers all day.
Right.
I was
I
a
can't
little
see
more
you doing that, but yes,
right.
no.
I'm like, I'm good at it, but it's boring. But I'm really good at finding people who can do that sort of thing. So I like the social side of it.
Right.
So I've been a recruiter in the past, and I enjoy helping people figure it out. In the past, if you worked at a company that I worked for, and I can't tell you how many people didn't know how to use their 401k. For example, I'm
gosh.
like, okay, let's go out to lunch. I cannot advise you what to invest in. That's above my pay grade. But let me explain to you why people do a 401k. Let me explain to you, the matching that you get from your company. Don't forego money. Let me explain to you how to get the most from your career, from your job, because if you're not asleep, for a lot of people, you're at home, you're at work.
Right.
And then you get your little bits of time at home. So when it comes to your work, whatever it is, I've always enjoyed, let's figure out how to make it your best for you.
That is
and so
exactly.
So I love
such good words.
I love network marketing because it lets me do that. I don't have to ask anyone's permission. I don't have to ask some manager if they like you and are willing to hire you. I like you. I would like to work with you. And if you would like to work with me, let's just do it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I mean, when I got in this, it's like, I'm a social media person. We can get this information out there. I've learned how to do this podcasting. I've learned how to take the podcast and put it into a YouTube. I'm getting it out there on all social platforms. Everything that I'm helping other people with their own businesses, it's going out there. And now
I love it.
With my own, I'm actually, this is about this company, which is, I'll let you announce it because I haven't sent it yet, but, I'll let you do that. But I am getting that out there today. Now this is going to continue from this point, and that's going to be added into all my podcasts, into my YouTubes, into my Facebook, into my Instagram, to everything. There'll be a link in there now because I need to, it took me a little while to figure out how it all works, but I think I finally got it. And you're the trainer, and you had a good conversation with me. It was Michelle and you and I, so I know what I'm doing. I just need to now bring some more people in, and it helps them, helps me, it helps everybody.
Right. So I do love the company, and so I will say the name of the company that Martha has joined me with is called LifeVantage. And we're nutrigenomics, and I will just say Google that because there's a lot to it.
Oh, there is.
It's fun. It's, to me, I like to, like I said earlier, I have certain medical things that I don't want to dominate my life. I actually enjoy how do I, get into improving my health. And so I like, this is a good niche for me. And I knew it would be with you because you love your dogs.
My dogs really changed because of it. And I started taking it when they started taking it. I was like, there's something about this product I really like. It's not making me tired. Even though, and I wasn't doing the driving back then as much, but when I started really driving, it's like I needed something to help me out on the road. And I did take the product, but not as much, just because I was constantly on the road.
Right.
Driving 600 miles a day, 20,000 a month. It was just
that's a lot.
And now that I'm not doing it, it's changed my life. Now I'm back to really looking at my health better, and knowing that product will help me, along with, I've got a full gym in the house. I've had to. I have a pandemic going on out here. We need to, We need to eat healthy. We need to take products that make us much healthier. Eat well, have a gym, because you can't buy weights anywhere. You can't.
Right. I know. It's so hard. Yeah. You're recreating your outside world in your inside world a little bit just to get to
things have changed.
Our normal, normal. I don't like the new normal term, but I want to function.
Yeah. And
So
LifeVantage does take it. It does make us function a lot better to handle more
right,
stress, more
right. Well,
anxiety, things that are
and I'll
around
tell
us.
you one other positive thing about this is, we were wrapping up our school year when all this started. My kids, I didn't even tell them that other schools were closed. We were just so focused on our own. So they're like, wait, schools have been out of session? I'm like, yeah, but we have to finish the ninth grade, kids. Let's go, hustle. So we did that. But, there is that disconnect. So many people aren't going to work and aren't having their social time and that sort of thing.
Right.
That what's so nice about what's happened here is, I called all my, support team above me and was literally like, okay, I am coming all back in. And what's been so brilliant is the regular conversation without any doom and gloom over it, because none of us are worried that we're going to be laid off
That's
from
true.
this.
That's one thing you
You
have
know,
not to worry
you,
about.
we just keep
Mm-hmm.
going, and our company, I haven't even pulled up the numbers, and I know they just issued them. Our last quarterly results were through the roof because everyone was looking to
I
help
bet.
their friends protect some income,
Yeah.
and what can we do? So
Yeah, this is one thing that's going to
I
help
enjoy it.
so many people, and I really do hope the listeners take a look at this. Contact me. They can even contact you. I mean, they will probably reach out. I've been getting messages, been getting emails.
Absolutely.
My listening audience is growing, and it's getting out there. So that's really what I'm hoping to achieve. And we just got on iHeartRadio, so I'm super
Oh,
happy. So
congratulations.
so we're on 10 platforms. They're on the main ones, but
Wow.
iHeart and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Breaker and all these top platforms. I'm like, it's amazing to see, like, I did that. I'm like, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, no, you have just enlightened me on so much, and it's been very refreshing to watch someone like yourself whose personal business within an industry literally got flipped upside down, and you just
Had to.
refuse to
I'm not
accept
gonna
that
give up.
as a loss. It's
Will
like,
not give up.
okay, exactly. What else can I do?
Yeah, I mean, I went
You're
from different careers. I mean, I did. I had different careers during the course of my life. And, back in my 20s, I was doing something completely different. Then I went into a horse farm. And then from a horse farm, started flying planes. And then flying planes led me into the transportation business.
I
And then
love it.
hit that pandemic. And it's like, wait a minute. I'm not driving. There's no way going anywhere. Now what? What
Now
the
what?
heck am I going to do? But at the same time, my dogs aren't well, which is kind of weird because I'm now home taking care of them. But at the same time, it's
Yeah,
like, gotta figure something out. How can I help other people? I just have to, sit down and kind of sit down, write things out, and start writing and figure out what is the best route to do this. But podcasts, one of the things is it is taking off because people have been home and
yes.
everybody wants to talk about things, and now podcast is just, it's exploding in growth.
That's so
So, and then the
exciting.
podcast going to a YouTube is something new that a lot of people hadn't thought about, because a lot of people actually don't have, they might not have Spotify or Apple or some of these streaming
Right.
music, but they can get on a YouTube. They can go on the their computer. I just talked to someone today. She's like, my mom doesn't have any of this. She can't listen to my interview. Is that going to be on YouTube? I was like, yeah, I'm putting the podcast on a YouTube. So you don't have anything really necessary to watch. I could put images in there, but it's the same thing. You're going to hear my podcast, but you're also going to have all these links in there too. So you'll have the
Awesome.
links to the LifeVantage, into my website, into all this stuff. So you'll have
Excellent.
access to everything. Which
Excellent.
another thing too, I would love to put a link on my website to that, but I'm not sure if under company rules, if you can do something like that. But
we will clarify
we'll
exactly what
clarify
you're
that.
allowed to, but you are allowed to link to your personal
To
page.
my personal page, yeah.
And
That's what I
you
thought.
should definitely do it. And what I'd love for people to see is just how cool this company. We have one of the neatest people in our tech division. There's a man in our tech division at the company who eats, drinks, breathes tech. His mind is going, it has to just be going a mile a minute with what can he do next. And he has really, I'm blown away with the website that we just get. We don't pay anything extra to have. It's called a replicated website. So the company has its own site, and then when you become an independent distributor,
because I have my website. I do. I have a site. So that site that I have, I'll be able to plug into. I can plug it into my website, but I can also plug that into the YouTube, into the podcast, and so forth. I can put it really in Twitter. So people, they see that, they can link into that and say, oh, let me contact her. So that's that's the great, that's
and they can reach you.
The new way of network marketing.
I love
it. Going door to door from Avon days.
Yeah, nobody has time for that.
No.
I have no time for that.
And besides, you don't want to do that today. We got 6 foot distancing and masks. You think you want somebody coming up to your door in a mask and say, here, I have a product for you to buy. That's not work.
No, I don't answer my door.
No.
If I wasn't expecting you,
no, I wouldn't either. If I were in Oregon either. Not with everything going up there. No,
yeah.
Just be.
We're far.
I want you to
we're
be
far
safe.
enough away.
Just be safe in Oregon right now. I'm worried about you out there on the West Coast.
I will tell you where we're at. It's not scary. Okay. I do worry for the city of Portland. I hope that things can improve sooner than later. It's a beautiful city, and I
was there. I loved it.
Yeah.
I went. I summited. It was on Mount Hood. I summited, and we were snowboarding, and got to go over to the coast. You got to see. Oh, it was beautiful. The Oregon coast. Went
gorgeous.
Into Portland. It's just an amazing state.
Yes.
And I even said, why not? Let's move here.
It's beautiful. I was raised in Northern California, and I say the real Northern California. For those people who think it stops at San Francisco, it does not. There's a good 5 hours worth of freeway to drive up.
Gosh, it's gorgeous.
And I'm from behind the redwood curtain, as we call it, and
beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Our beaches in Northern California are beautiful to look at. There's some people crazy enough to try to surf them. They're not super safe waters. We have very strong undertows and riptides and that sort of thing. A little scary.
It's very strong there, yeah.
But it's beautiful. It's home, and Oregon is almost as pretty.
Well, when things quiet down a little, I'll be coming out to see you. I'll be visiting.
I love it. I love it.
But I want to tell everybody out there that I am so looking forward to this conversation. I'm so happy that we were able to finally commit to this call. And
excellent, me too.
A lot of time. We did. We actually did a nice amount of time for this interview, this podcast. We're close to 50 minutes here. By the time I put the music in, you're looking almost to an hour, so that's great.
Oh my gosh. I've been accused of being chatty. Uh-oh.
No worries. No, Claudia, you're great. You're the best. We love you here, and we want you to be safe. And Bucksy County Bytes really appreciates all your time that you put in today, and I can't wait to talk to you some more.
Excellent. Thank you, Martha. You have a great day.
You too. Have a great day. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.